Okay, we're recording, and I'm going to share my screen. I do have a slideshow or a presentation. I forget. Oh, okay. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? It should be white now. Okay, now you can see it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to talk about in this training is inviting. So I titled it, Keep Your Business Spinning Forward. So we always want to be having momentum moving forward. So, you know, we've talked about the 4 vital behaviors, but this is specifically about the invite part of our vital behaviors. So how to reach out, reconnect, invite, and follow up, and talk to people to, you know, invite them into what we do, into our challenge groups, into our community of coaching, into whatever you think that would benefit for them, for their lives. So it's part of the 4 vital behaviors, and I said spinning forward, and I did this training like 2 years ago, and I don't know why I just liked the idea of the Ferris wheel as opposed to just a regular wheel, because I feel like it's the thought of, if this is your business, people should be getting on board every month and, you know, going for a ride and going through a challenge group or going through conversations with you every month. And then, you know, as you add more and more people, you know, two here, 2 there, 5 here, 5 there, at the end of the month, your Ferris wheel is full of people that you can invite. So to review, our 4 vital behaviors are be proofs the products work, personal development, recognition and shout outs, and then invite. And I put off to the side right here social media, because that is something that we should be doing consistently. It's going to look so different for everybody, but it's still something to be doing. So the process of inviting starts with our reach out. So this is a non-Beachbody conversation. We have to remember that what we're doing as coaches is not something to take lightly. It's not something that is done quickly. So when someone decides to trust you with their health and fitness goals, sometimes their insecurities, sometimes their, you know, their hesitations, all of that, that's not done just from you posting one transformation and then reaching out to them and saying, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? It just doesn't work like that. If it was, and it was like that easy and people were jumping on board, everybody would be fit and everybody would be a coach. But what we do takes time, and I think that that gives so much integrity to our business, that this is not a quick, you know, a quick results thing, and neither are our fitness programs. So the first thing that you do is we reach out, and then at times you reconnect with them. You invite them, and then you follow up. And that's the same system for the same person and for all the people you talk to over and over and over. So first, what you do is you reach out. You contact them for the first time and you begin to build a relationship. So you're going to talk to them completely not about Beachbody. You're going to say something, you know, hey, how are you? I think we went to school together, or, you know, I saw you have a baby the same age as my baby. How are you? Or I saw the pictures of your wedding. You looked so beautiful. And you just talk to them. Next, you can reconnect with them. So sometimes people, when you send out a reach out, they're like super talkative, and they're like, oh, you know, you go back and forth, and you have kind of that, it's called the to and fro of a conversation. It's the, you know, the back and forth. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes people, I mean, it is important not to read into if they're short. You know, if they're like, oh yeah, I got married last May, and then you're like, oh, it was, you say something back and they don't answer. Don't think of it as them not wanting to talk to you. Think about it as they're busy at that moment. They can't talk to you in this moment, and then they forgot. How many of us open a text message or open a message and then shut it and then forget about it forever? But in those instances, you might want to reconnect with them. You might want to a couple days later, a couple weeks later, a couple months later. Oh, I forgot a picture of my slide. Hold on. Yep, I did. It's okay. Sorry. We will continue on with life. So you might want to talk to them again. Try to build that relationship. You're going to hear the phrase forming a lot. So form is an acronym for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So if you're like, what do I talk to them about? Like, if you're kind of stuck, like you did that initial reach out and then they're not talking to you and you're kind of like, this girl is so awesome from her page, but I really don't know what to talk to her about. Ask questions. Ask about their family, about what they do, about what they like to do for fun. Get to know them on that level. Next, you're going to invite them. So that's you asking them to join you in a free group, a challenge group, try Shakeology, try Energize, to coach, anything. It's inviting them into our lives, into what we do. The last thing is a follow-up. A follow-up could be re-inviting them because they told you they were going to do it in the summer, or to follow up and see if they got your message. It's just the process over and over. Either my kids are crying or laughing, but I'm going to go with laughing. So what you're going to do is when you start this, so think of that in your mind as your 4-step system. You want to work from a list. So when I did this training, Facebook was kind of the jam for pretty much everybody. Now, I'm personally building most of my business on Instagram. That is where I'm trying to find people like me. I'm trying to find people I relate to because I have gone through a lot. In 3 years, I have gone through and talked to a lot of people in my Facebook network. So either way, no matter where you're building, you want to work from a list. So the first thing you can do is do the memory jogger from the back office. It's just right under getting started. And make a list of everybody you know. So when you start coaching initially, it's great to talk to people you already have trust with. So like your sister or your mom or your best friend, people who know you and maybe have seen you've been doing the workouts and before you started coaching, and they could see your results and they could see that's working for you in your life. It's easy to ask them. You don't have to pressure them or do anything like that, but it's easy to ask people you know if they want to try what you're doing. But then also download your Facebook friends. I'll show you at the end. I have attached a link to that. But download it, and I have a screenshot of how I used to do it. It was all my Facebook friends, and I made all the men blue, and I would delete them because I just personally don't reach out to men. If a man came to me asking me a question, I would answer it, but I don't like build a relationship with men. That's just my personal preference. But you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. And then I would delete the men, and then I would put a little check next to the person. And I would then transfer that name onto like my active contact list. It says sheet 1 down here. Like eventually I had a sheet 2. If you're doing Instagram, I recommend you download the app Followers. And it will show you who is your follower. So then you can write those people down or type them into your list so that you don't lose track of them. because between Facebook, Instagram, no matter where you're building, if you rely on just scrolling back in your messages, you will miss people. You'll forget about them. You'll forget that you started a conversation and that they asked you about 21 Day Fix or something like that. We're just busy people, and you can't expect yourself to remember everyone. But if you write them down and you have a check next to their name that you did a reach out, you'll know to follow up for the next step, which is either continuing to build that relationship or to do an invite. If you don't know who to reach out to, you can check your recent friends. So people who you've added on Facebook or followed on Instagram, they will show you the new people who you're recent friends with. Oh, and yes, Brenna, thank you. Great tip. It's also super efficient because nobody has time to be doing this all day. And if you just have a list, when you sit down at your computer, you already know, whatever your goal is, if you're going to reach out to 5 new people that day, it's right there. Those are the people. You just search them and you send the message and you move on to the next one. And then you're adding people to your network all the time. And I didn't put that in the invite funnel part because it's a little bit separate, even though it's the same, but because you're adding people, they don't have to add you back. And so you're kind of putting out friend requests or putting out follows, and I don't really start the process with them until they follow me back or friend request me back. But you want to be doing friend requests because if you're hustling hard and you have 600 friends on Facebook, you're going to get through those 600 people. So you need to continuously add new people to your network so new people are hearing your story, new people are seeing what you're doing, and there's new people to build relationships with. So reaching out and connecting. So I screenshotted some actual examples of me reaching out to people and what they look like. So this one I said, "Hey Taylor, how are you? Thanks for accepting my friend request. You look super familiar, but I could be crazy. Pinkerton is such a big school, and without knowing, a million people. I saw that you had a post of a little boy. Is that your son?" So that's just an example. Especially when I was on Facebook, I would often thank people for returning or for accepting the friend request. On Instagram, I don't do that because Instagram is more direct. If they follow you back, you can follow a million people and none of them have to follow you back. So when they follow you back, they're interested in you too. A friend request is a little bit more, I don't know, to me it was more gutsy. You kind of accepted a friend request and you didn't know what you were getting. But on Instagram, even now, if someone follows me and they're not my people, I just don't follow them back. So be genuine, ask them questions, share about yourself a little bit, and then have your only thought in your mind be about getting to know them. So when you're doing your reach outs, you're not thinking about the challenge pack. You're not thinking about the coaching opportunity. You may have those things in the back of your mind, but it's going to stress you out if you feel like you're searching for people who deserve a challenge pack, where you cannot make that predetermination. Everybody could need a challenge pack for different reasons. I used to have a list up by my computer, and it said why I loved being a coach and why I loved a challenge group. So, for me, after I lost my baby weight, it wasn't about this huge transformation for me anymore. It was about how it made me feel and, how it has reduced my stress at work. All of these things that I love that you cannot know just from a reach out and for someone's timeline, their social media timeline, you cannot know if they need a challenge pack or if they need a challenge group. It's don't even try. So the only thought in your mind right now is to be friendly and to love on people and to make new friends. I have lots of people that I've talked to over my entire 3 years of coaching that have never ended up joining a challenge group, but I still love to talk to them. And maybe they will one day, and I don't doubt that a lot of them will, but for right now, I just enjoy loving on other ladies. Then what you're going to do is you're going to invite them. So you have your list, right? However you want to do your list, it doesn't even have to be complicated. So don't overcomplicate this. Put their name on a list and put a check next to them when you reach out to them. Put a check next to them when you rebuild, and put a check when you're ready to invite. It's never going to be the best time ever. So are you there in your relationship? You don't have to be their best friend to be there. But it is important that they've answered you, that you've had that to and fro a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to know like their entire family history, but they know that you're a human. The purpose is for they to know that you're a real person who enjoys what she does for real. And then you think just about what I said, you know, the list in your head of why you love a challenge group, what your challengers have said about the groups and how it's helped other people. And then would you invite them to a birthday party, or would you invite them to go see a movie? If any of those are yes, invite them. I say the same thing every single time. And I actually don't know if I said it here, because this is from a while ago. But I say every time, I feel like I have to read one. Hey, hey Brenna, this is super random, but I wanted to invite you to my health and fitness virtual accountability group. I'm not even sure if it's your thing, but if it could be, I would love to have another insert what I know about them. So amazing mom, hardworking CEO, corporate ladder girl, like whatever you know about them because you've been talking to them in my group. I'm not sure if it's your thing, but if it could be, let me know. And then that's what I send every single time. When I talk about coaching, I say, oh my gosh, your page is amazing, or oh my gosh, your transformation was amazing, or whatever I thought about them that made me think about coaching. And I say, have you ever thought about coaching like I do? ? And that just starts it. Because no matter what you say to anybody in this inviting process, they're not going to just be like, yes, send me the link. So there's always going to be follow-up questions, and that's a really good thing. You want them to ask questions. But what you're doing is you're just planting the idea, and you're just putting it out there. It's kind of like, hey, I mean, if you work with somebody and you're not super close with them yet, and you're like, hey, I was thinking about trying out happy hour with people from work. Like, would you want to come? Like, it doesn't have to be this crazy thing. It's just, hey, would you like to do this maybe? And then follow up with them if they don't answer you, and then follow up when they do answer, if they say yes or no. So if they don't answer, I always say, I give it, 3 days, 2 to 3 days. And I say, hey, I'm not sure if you got my last message. Totally no pressure. I would love to have you anytime. And most of the time they answer that. And they're like, oh my gosh, I shut it. I was giving my kid a bath. Could you tell me more about it? Or it's just not my thing right now. I'm super busy. Okay, cool. No big deal. Because remember, we're just loving on people. We are doing this no matter what, who joins us. I'm doing my workout not because I need challenge pack sales, but I'm doing my workout because I feel better and I want results and all of these things. If you want to join me on this train of positivity, great. If not, totally okay too. I track my people either on a calendar or in the funnel system that training is provided to. But then I know to go back. So most people will say not right now, or lots of different reasons. But I don't stop talking to them. I just stop talking to them like that day. So some people are like, follow up with me next month, or on, a lot of times it's like, around the holidays, a lot of people are like, in the spring. So I make a big in the spring list, and then I go back. But right here is an example. I have a June calendar. So I know who I invited every single day. So when I like in, let's say, August or September, I'll go back to this calendar or my funnel list with those check marks. It does not matter. Remember, it doesn't matter. And I just go through that list. And then what I do is I reach out to them. Like, hey, girl, I remember you were going to Disney. How was that? And then they're like, oh, my God, it was so much fun. And then you go back and forth. And then you're like, hey, I know in June it wasn't a great time, but I am running another challenge group. If you'd like to go, or if you'd like to join us, let me know. So it's just this, you know, Ferris wheel. It's this Ferris wheel of this circulation, this wheel, whatever you want to think of it, as this ongoing, always talking to people, talking to the same people, and then always new people. But when someone says no, it's not no forever. It's just no, not right now. One second. And then if they do say yes, I'm actually going to stop sharing for a second. I don't have a slide for if they do say yes, so I'll just talk. If they do say yes, and it's super easy to be like, oh my gosh, yay, we start in 2 weeks, like, you're gonna love it. They have no idea what all of this is. And so if they say they're interested, just write back, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're interested. Can you tell me some of your health and fitness goals? Because remember, we're here for them, not for us. So if they say they're interested in any way, shape, or form, I mean, even if people are like, I don't know, it doesn't really sound like my thing, but what's it all about? Like, people are super skeptical, right? I'm still like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're interested. I like ignore the part where they said they're like not really interested. I ignore that. And then I'm like, I'm so excited that you want to learn more or something like that. Can you tell me about your health and fitness goals? I have been doing this a long time, and they all fall under the same categories of, I want to lose weight, I want to feel better, I want to be more consistent, and or I want to tone, you know, something like that. Well, all of our, it's a great thing because Beachbody On Demand does offer all of our programs. So you don't have to focus so much about what program, but I usually say something like, oh my gosh, I have a few programs I bet you would like. What kind of workouts do you like to do? The answer, you know, it's not that it doesn't matter what they say, but they get all of them. So you're just finding out information though, so that when they do commit, you can say, oh my gosh, check out this one right away. So you just know that in the back of your mind. But then I always ask them their goals. I don't always ask them what kind of workouts they do, but sometimes I do. If they're really into working out, that's what I ask them. But then I always say, what do you struggle with nutrition? And people always have like a really long list of like either cravings or I don't know what to eat, or portion, or like they have a lot of things, or like I just eat like crap or something like that. And so then I always plug in Shakeology, and I'll say, have you heard, or do you tell your story? So Brenna's story and my story, Nancy's story, Brianna's story, we all have different reasons why we love Shakeology. But you can share your story, and that's not being salesy. That's you sharing your story. So I'll say, oh my gosh, the biggest thing that has helped me be consistent with being healthier is Shakeology, because I used to eat fast food all the time and I didn't really like vegetables. Have you heard of it? So short with a question. Sometimes people say yes, sometimes people say no. And then you then say, I could explain it to you. What I say is, I could explain it to you, but they do it a lot better. Can I just, or do you want me to send you a little video about it? It's amazing. It's like, I always say it's been the game changer for me. And then I say, like, it's 2 to 3 minutes long. And they almost always say yes. And then you send it to them, and then you ask them what they think. You know, they're not going to usually answer you right in that moment. But then you just follow up with them. Again, that follow-up, remember, we're following up with people. You say, you know, what did you think? when people have we're going to do a whole training on objections in May, but this is just to get you thinking about that. It's better just to ask them questions about how it would help them, and then you present tools. So the BB Links app is what you can download, and they have the videos on Shakeology or challenge packs or all that kind of stuff. And it just helps you be like, hey, this is a resource that I'm plugging you into. But it kind of separates you from it so that they see you as the coach. They see you as someone who's helping them, but not this person who's like so only 21 Day Fix or only this or only that. It's like, hey, you want to check this out. And then you just get through them. And then sometimes at the end, they're ready, and sometimes they're not ready, and that's okay. But that's why we're talking to people constantly. Yes, baby?
Help.
I can't help you right now.
Water.
Yeah, the water's going. I hear it. So then what does this look like on a daily? So I threw a lot at you. So what we call it, and you're going to hear it in the National Wake Up Call, you're going to hear it if you go through what I did when I started is I found coaches that I connected with and I liked, and I went to their YouTube channel and I watched all their trainings. And one thing you're going to hear is power hour. So what is a power hour? A power hour is for us moms and us working ladies who don't have all day 8 hours to dedicate to this business. So what it is, it's your goal. It's your minimum. So what you do as a coach is you're going to drink your Shakeology and do your workout. You're going to read or listen to 10 to 30 minutes of personal development. And then your invite. You're going to add 2 new people to your network every day. So you're going to send friend requests, and you're going to follow new people. That's it. And then you're going to move on to reach outs because you have that list. So you're going to go right over to your list, and you're going to contact the 2 to 5 people. And then reconnect with people that you need to, because then you're going to, go back up on your list. And if you are like, oh, she didn't really answer me, I'm not really comfortable sending an invite, you're going to reconnect with them. You're going to ask another question. You're going to build that relationship further. And then you're going to invite 2 to 5 people every day. That is going to guarantee, 1, you make Success Club. 2, that you have new people coming into your challenge group. And I don't know, 3, but that you're talking to people constantly, and new people are seeing and connecting with you. Whether they're saying yes or no, it doesn't matter, because if you do 2 people every single day, that's 60. That's ultimately 60 invites a month. You're definitely going to get 2 to 3 people or 3 to 5 people out of 60. If you do 5 people every day, I guarantee you're going to make Success Club of 180 people. It's just a numbers game in regards to who's ready. It's not a numbers game that you're just shooting out messages to anybody and you're just trying to do that. You're putting in the work. You're building these relationships. But the more people you talk to, the more people are going to be ready right then. And a lot of times people are not ready that month, and that's okay, because then your follow-up list becomes so long, and those conversations are so easy because you're already friends with them. But this is your daily minimum. And as a coach, it's easy to get sucked into all these things you feel you have to do, but I promise you, these are the only things you need to do. Post on social media is not on this list because it's technically not on Vital, even though I think it is. Check into the team page is something that is important. And then the National Wake Up Call, but that goes under personal development every week. Monday, your personal development is covered. You just do your National Wake Up Call. Or if you need to break that up in 2 days, Monday and Tuesday covered, because it's kind of long sometimes. So this is it. So when you feel overwhelmed in this business and you can't realize, or you can't figure out how to get to Success Club, this is it. So take a picture of this, or take write it down, whatever you need to do. This is how you grow your business right here. It's not about contacting massive amounts of people one day. It's about talking to a little bit of people every single day over time. And that is how you make Success Club. And we know that it is proven when you make Success Club, your business and your income grows. So that is it.